finally, there are just 3 more games before Euro 2012 soccer champions are crowned this Sunday, with Italy and Spain using this last weekend to line themselves up with Germany and Portugal for the semi-finals. Of course, the highlight was probably England's high anxiety defeat by Italy with penalties. Jonathan Clegg was there in Kiev watching, and I asked him earlier, was there anything England could have done?
As far as England's concerned, I don't know if there is, Nick. I think England's history of failure from in penalty shootouts has now sort of crossed into the realm of psychological condition, and I'm not sure what there is that they can do to prepare any better. Roy Hodgson, the coach, said that they've been preparing and practicing penalties since they first arrived in Poland and Ukraine. That in practice they were scoring them all the time. But I think that England's long history of failure from the penalty spot. This was the 6th time out of 7 penalty shootouts in major tournaments that they've lost. I think it sort of almost weighs on the collective psyche of the England team that their failures in the past now sort of weigh very heavily on the current generation of players, and consequently they're sort of doomed to failure whenever they step up to take
psychological terror of it all, I assume.
That's right. It's the sort of the torture of the whole thing overwhelms them, and that is what the penalty shootout is. It's this sort of orchestrated suspense that takes place at the end of these tied games, and as much as it's very painful for an Englishman to admit, it's gripping drama.
It's all part of the championship. I mean, okay, we've had other games of the weekend with basically Italy and Spain join Germany and Portugal into the semi-finals. Any surprises elsewhere apart from the England game?
I don't know that there were sort of too many surprises. I think that barring the England-Italy game, which a lot of people thought was going to be very close, it turned out Italy should have won comfortably during the sort of 120 scoreless minutes prior to the penalty shootout. A lot of people thought that game was going to be close, but otherwise the sort of three big favourites have gone through, and I think that the only sort of surprise was that Spain in their game against France, won comfortably in the end, but didn't really quite sort of capture people's imagination and play with the same sort of pizzazz that we've come to expect at this Spanish.
I mean, that's just it. They just seem to be sort of essentially coasting through that game. Is there any suggestion here that they don't have another gear now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think that perhaps they do, and perhaps when the situation calls for it, possibly not until they have to face Germany in the final. Maybe they will step up. But I think that one of the things that sort of has been overlooked during Spain's 5-year dominance of international soccer is that for all the talk about the sort of artistry behind its short passing game and how that enthuses people, it's actually can be quite a defensive tactic because they possess the ball for such long periods. They simply prohibit the other team from having any chances. So even though it's sort of widely regarded as a great offensive tactic, it can be quite defensive the way they play.
Jonathan, you seem to be quite certain there that Portugal will probably lose against Germany. Is that right?
Portugal playing Spain. Sorry, yes.
Spain, yeah.
I think that'll be a really tough game for Portugal. The one thing that they have, obviously, is Cristiano Ronaldo, the tournament's biggest individual star. But he is someone who plays his professional soccer in Spain, will be very well known to all the players on the Spanish team. So I'm pretty sure they will do absolutely everything in their power to restrict him from getting the ball too often.
Finally, Jonathan, who do you think basically are the favourites? Let's be honest.
Well, since the beginning, we've all been tabbing a Spain-Germany final, and nothing that we've seen so far leads me to think any different. So, yeah, Spain-Germany would be the sort of dream final that people have been hoping for weeks now.
And the champion?
Well, I think if Spain steps up, it could be Germany. It could be Germany. They look by far the strongest team in the quarterfinals, so it could be them.
Jonathan, it's very kind of you for joining us.
Thanks.